All right, it's time for our news segment, WWTSDD. What would the sports doctor do? Now, the sports doctor, as you know, is the omnipotent one here on Casey and the Sports Doctor, the all-knowing guru, who, if we could just put him in charge of everything, sports might be a better set of circumstances. So, sports doctor, what would the sports doctor do if you were in charge of the CIAC basketball playoffs?
Wow, loaded question, Casey. There's a lot of good things that come out of the CIAC basketball playoffs, and the first thing is that the finals are at the Mohegan Sun. How do you knock that? I mean, back-to-back games, then double L, girls and boys. I think there were close to 8,000 people. We were both there at the high school finals, so that's A+, number one. Things they probably need to improve on is somehow you got to find a way with the seedings, the matchups, the classifications of the schools. I thought it was wrong that Westbrook had to play Trinity in the Class S state final. Westbrook was outmatched. They had a great season, but a little bit outmatched. So I think something needs to be done. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not too sure anybody does as far as reseeding some of these teams, but it just comes to, the schools with no borders, the schools of choice. Where do you classify these teams in with the public schools? That'd be the first thing I'd look at and change. Second thing, they have to find a way to get a little bit younger on the court, okay? Now, I'm talking about some of the officiating. Officiating and coaching are probably the two most hardest things to do when it comes to high school sports. But, and there's some great officials out there, and we see them in our league, and we see them in the ECC, but a lot of those guys are our age. We're getting a little bit past our prime now. These kids are fast. These kids are, they're athletes. They can get up and down the floor. So maybe address the officiating. Make officiating have an incentive plan. Do something different to maybe get some of the ex-basketball players involved in being part of some of these local boards. Put these guys' knowledge and their athleticism to good work. So, kudos for the CIAC for having a tournament in the finals at the Mohegan Sun. Reclassifications maybe of some of the teams in the state tournament in the SML and double L division. And how about let's look at the officiating. These kids deserve, the fans and the schools deserve the best product on the floor.
In a nutshell, the politics of the CIAC need to change for many of the reasons the sports doctor just said. Listen, I understand that you want to reward some of the old boy network crews in officiating, but if you're 75 years old and have been doing Thomaston games all year, I don't want to see you in your Segway going up and down the court trying to keep up with East Hartford and, a Hill House. It's nothing against these officials, but the officials need to have earned the right to do some of these games, and I don't know that the CIAC does what's in the best interests of the kid. Another thing, the guys making the decision in the CIAC, first of all, they're guys, and they're generally of a certain age, a certain Del Boca Vista age, if you will, and I don't know that 75-year-old men should be making all of the decisions for high school sports and high school kids. I'd like to see the CIAC get younger as well. I'd like to see the officials get rewarded. We got to find a way to change the tournaments, right? I thought Jim Bransfield, the great Middletown press writer, and his Schools Without Borders, we say schools of choice. It was a great article and a great point. Something's not right. It doesn't feel right when there's 3 Haitian immigrant kids playing on a team that has 50 boys in the whole school, and somehow they're playing with kids from New York, and they're playing a team that has 300 boys in its school that doesn't get to recruit. It's something's wrong there. Maybe we go back to the tournament, 2 tournaments, a public school tournament and a school of choice tournament. Maybe we go back to the Catholic school tournaments. I don't know, but I think the thing you hit on the head, sports doctor, is we need some youth and fresh air in the CIAC.